Okay, I'm back now. I just want to wrap up with a few things about last week's open discussion, the open discussion for week one. Sorry I didn't have enough time to fit this into my first video. I'll try to go quickly here because I know you've been listening to me a lot today. So let's just go back to the discussions, but let me get in my student view to make sure you're looking at the same thing as me. All right, so when I go to the discussions, I can scroll down to our open discussion section, and I just want to show you a couple of the highlights from our first open discussion last week. So we did end up with a lot more threads than 3 originals. So if you log into the open discussion, make sure you check and see if there are already 3 original threads posted, and if there are, then know that you cannot post a thread that is an original anymore after that. So once we had Jessica Peck's, Jessica Mendoza, and Amber Samora's, that should have been it. Now I did get in and see pretty early on that Tabitha had posted a 4th original, so that's okay. I addressed that up here. But then all of these Christopher Scott posts, you should have seen my comment here pinned to the top saying do not create any more original threads. All you can do once these 3 originals have been posted is to reply. And so part of the idea behind that is that you should be able to go as in depth with your thinking in a reply as you would in your original post. So let me point that out in the prompt here. This just says, during your reading, identify 2 places where you agree and 2 places where you disagree. And so for the originals, you can see that Jessica Peck, for example, did have a paragraph with the things she agreed with and a paragraph of the things that she disagreed with. But for the rest of you, if you did not post an original thread, you could certainly get in and comment on various examples of the threads that were already started and cover the same information. You know, your 2 and your 2 agree points and your 2 disagree points. So just know, in terms of the grading, and I think I pointed this out on the rubric in my first video, your grade will not depend on whether you create an original or if you just reply to others' originals. It's more about the depth of your thinking and whether or not you're posting on 3 different days. So I think only one of you actually posted on 3 different days last week. And so just remember that it's not just a matter of posting 3 different times. You actually have to get in on 3 different days to show that you really are engaging in conversation throughout the week, and also to allow people to reply to the things that you have said. All right, so I want to make sure I'm covering everything here. Let me show you an example. We can go to Jessica Mendoza's here. I think the conversation went really well. Jessica had stated the things she agreed with and then kind of expounded on that with some more ideas. I came in and said, I want a little bit more here about your disagree points, but then between Rocky and Alexis, the conversation really took off from there. So you can see she's got a lot of replies from people here. I've gone in and replied to one of the comments that she received. Jessica herself has come back into the conversation and kind of clarified things. So where I had asked her a question up here, what do you disagree with? Jessica comes back and it's already kind of relevant to the conversation that's going on. And then Andrew came in and really provided an in-depth comment, and then David as well. And so these are the kinds of comments I'm thinking about when I say, you know, you really can go as in-depth in a reply as you could in your original. So just a couple of examples here. There were several good conversations that took off throughout the week, but I just am going to highlight this one because it shows you the kind of back and forth discourse that I'm really looking for in these open discussions, because again, these are meant to be just a conversation that's taking place about the article throughout the week. So let's also look at Tabitha's thread. A couple of good examples of comments here. Rocky asks, you know, some questions and provides some different insights, and then I came in and kind of synthesized what they had said into another question, and then Tabitha came back and responded to me in a really in-depth comment. And so Tabitha gets credit for this thread for 2 different days. She posted the original, she came back to the conversation, posted again, so this reply is going to carry just as much weight as her original thread did. And then also a couple of good in-depth comments here as well from different people. So not everything in the conversation is going to be able to be addressed within the week. There are some things that are just going to fall by the wayside. Not every comment is going to get a reply, but I still think everyone is bringing in really good ideas here, so this is another good example that you could look at if you're confused about what to do for the open discussions. And then again, also always email me if you have any questions about any of these requirements. Okay, so I'll just wrap up by going back to our week 2 objectives. Don't forget, we are working with a new article this week, and you do have 2 simultaneous discussions, the quote and paraphrase writing prompt and the open discussion. Then you have 2 reading matrices. And again, you can use your book text, of course, to complete the reading matrix. They are organized according to the information that's in the chapters, but my lecture videos also address the same content. So be sure to watch the lecture video as you complete the reading matrices and the discussions for that matter. And then don't forget, we do have the syllabus quiz this week, so that you can prove that you are participating in academically related activities and assignments. So please complete the syllabus quiz by Friday so that you can avoid the no-show penalty. And then again, always email me if you have any questions, and I look forward to another great week. Thank you.